my name is Beck, and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So there is a Twitter storm going on, Twitter controversy going on, with me pretty much in the middle of it, which is a bit weird. I'm not a big Twitter person. I don't like Twitter, and I recommend everybody en masse, get off Twitter. I use it really for this channel and this channel alone. I don't use it for anything else. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. So yeah, normally these Twitter storms are not worth talking about. It's certainly not worth making a video about. I do reference them in my live streams because, you know, they're kind of funny. But I do reference them, but they're not worth making videos about. What I realized, and really, this has really brought it home to me, is what's really going on. It's a bunch of children. And really literally children. And by children, I mean people who, don't have to look after themselves, don't have to, like, pay their own bills, they haven't grown up yet, let alone look after other people. They're a bunch of children. There are children doing what children do, being spiteful, bullying, being not very nice children, and children that shouldn't be unsupervised, and certainly shouldn't have unsupervised Twitter accounts. But anyway, that's all it is. There's a ringleader, this kid, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. And he posts something, and then, this was my revelation about a month or so ago, was it's always the same, like, 10 to 12 people go, and like, who cares? Who cares what these, like, little clump of, like, totally irrelevant children have to say about it? Really, who cares? So why am I making this video, right? It's because Doctor Who magazine comics editor, writer, he's been the writer there for like 30 years. Scott Gray waded in and had to support, and I think the person he was supporting he's totally obsessed with me. This guy is 100%, I guarantee you, he's watching this video. He is totally obsessed with me, and I think it's because he doesn't like Jews. I mean, I hate to say it, I think it's because he doesn't like Jews. It's really, because everything he says is, there's no substantiating everything. So I'm going to go over the whole thing. Scott, if you're watching, I want to give you the benefit of the doubt. I want to give you the benefit of the doubt that you were sucked into this, and you acted unwisely, and I would love there to be a way, and there is. I'm going to give you real simple suggestions that won't compromise you in any way to extricate for yourself from this. If you want, if you don't want, whatever you want. It's fine. I'm just going to present the entire story to you and to everyone as openly and honestly as I can, and I think I'm being quite quite reasonable. But if anybody thinks I'm wrong, Scott, anybody thinks I'm wrong, just tell me where I'm wrong. It's okay. Actually tell me specifically where I'm wrong. And I like to be a kind of reasonable guy. Just tell me where I'm wrong, and I will 100% tell you what I think I'm being pretty darn reasonable. Fine, before we get there though, can I ask you guys, can you hit the like button? That would be fantastic, even if you hate the video. Can you hit the like button? That would be fantastic. Can you hit the share button, especially if you hate the video? Because again, there are these crazy children, they're watching this intently. If you hate the video, can you share it? You've got to want people to know they're heresies that I am spouting. If you can do that, but mostly, and again, haters, lovers, all over, everybody in between, hit that subscribe button, hit the subscribe button. I'm getting closer to 2,000 subscribers. Thank you. I started this thinking I would get 5. So every time I go, it's fantastic. I'm really thank you very much. I am really genuinely very, very grateful, and far more grateful than I think is rational or sane for somebody nearly 50 to be. But I am so excited for everybody subscribing. Thank you very much. I'm very, very grateful. So what do you get if you subscribe? If you subscribe, well, obviously you get to make a rabbi happy. I don't know how often you get that in life. I mean, I don't know if you walk around with like a bagel and lox ready to, hey, rabbi, and you got to hope the guy's a rabbi. He might just be Jewy looking. You don't know. So you get to make a rabbi happy, but also you get to enter my weekly competitions. The prize this week, which is being given away, I'm posting this video on Sunday. It's giving away tonight when I'm on the TARDIS zone, which is one of the reasons these children are obsessed with me. We're going to go with the whole thing. I'm going to substantiate everything, which is like they never do. But I'm giving away on the TARDIS zone. We're doing a watch along of Daleks in Manhattan, which I think is going to be a bit of a split panel because I quite like it. I mean, there are not great bits to it, but there are bits that I definitely enjoy. I think I'm in the bag for Russell D. Davies. I just love his Doctor Who. He just is like pretty bad for me not to give him a pass. Fine, but the prize that we're giving away this night is this: Robots of Death. The going to say 1976. Yeah, 1976 adventure. I think, yeah. It's 12, yeah, 1976. Terrible cover. Freaking terrible cover. I've got this really good fan cover over here, which I'll give you as well. Cause here it is. Because I can't stand that cover. There you go. That cover's way better. I can't remember who designed it. He didn't credit himself on there. But I took his template. And made covers. I might have even made this one. I don't remember. I took his template and made covers for the entire DVD range, and now they're bringing out Blu-ray. So there you go. So you get the DVDs as I give away in prizes to win this fantastic prize. Win this good, really, it's a fantastic story. Plus, there might be a bootleg version of the special edition that I burnt for myself in there as well for you. To win this special edition means that they put some documentaries on. They're pretty good, the documentaries. All you need to do is subscribe to the channel. That's part one. And then in the comments, leave the hashtag Taran Capel. Taran Capel. Go check the video notes down below. It's got everything you need to know to enter and win. And we'll do the prize, as I said, tonight on the TARDIS Zone. Good luck to everybody entering. And then we're going to pick out a new prize for next week. Yeah, we have weekly prizes on the channel. So hit that subscribe button. Fine. So let's talk about this this Twitter storm, this Twitter controversy. So for me, I think a good place to start would be about just under a week ago. So listen, I have a YouTube channel. You can see I have a YouTube channel because I'm on a YouTube channel. It's pretty obvious. And I have a bit of a grown-up YouTube channel, especially my my live streams. They're big, which has grown-up humor. Now, I do have a bit of a grown-up dark sense of humor. That's 110% true. I will completely hold my hands up there. I'll give you an example. Now, I want to remind you, I'm a rabbi. I've worked at Yad Vashem, the Holocaust Museum here in Israel, and I know the story of the Holocaust. I know it in very, very advanced detail. That's why I guess it's so disgusting when people compare the presidential race or anything. Everybody always compare it to the Holocaust. And it's such breathtaking ignorance. It's the point of Holocaust denial. If they say this is just like Germany in the no, it's not. And it's breathtaking ignorance that brings you to Holocaust denial. So I understand the Holocaust pretty darn well. I think I understand anti-Semitism pretty darn well. But I also have a bit of a dark sense of humor. So me and my son, who also says a dark sense of humor, on Friday night. Friday night is a religious meal every week in religious Jewish households. So we don't use we're not online. We don't watch TV. The Sabbath is like a day when you cut yourself off. In fact, I just came back online from it. I honestly, I personally really enjoy it. I would say get offline for one evening a week. It's so good for you. It's so good. I recommend it so highly. So anyway, it's kind of a spiritual. We do have a laugh around our Sabbath table. So at one point when my son was going to visit the camps where they concentrated very hard for the naughty National Socialists in Germany in the 1930s. All these things I can't say openly on YouTube, right? Actually, I'll say for quite good reason. I'm behind that. So we talked about the different things that the gift shop at Yad Vashem, the Holocaust Memorial Museum in Israel should have if we were running it, and we came up with all kinds of things. All of them are terrible. They're very dark, even like bunk beds, train sets, fireplaces, lampshades. Lampshades was a big one. That was a bit. Anyway, so that went on. Fine. So so I have a bit of a dark sense of humor, and this is a grown-up channel for grown-ups. And if you don't like my sense of humor, that's fine. Yeah, I listen. If you find it offensive, that's fine. That's your right as a human being. But that's it. So when I normally start my live streams, I chat for a bit as people come in, people arrive. I say hello to people, and then one person in the chat was called TARDIS Time, right? TARDIS Time was there. One of you watching TARDIS, I think it was that. So I said TARDIS Time. TARDIS Time is always a good time. Now in my head, the phrase "good time" is always going to be associated with when I was a wee whippersnapper. I would always go up to Tottenham Court Road and go to Forbidden Planet, which was at that point it was on Denmark Street. It's this tiny little shop, and then round the corner was Forbidden Planet 2. some fantastic signs. I went there. I met wonderful people. Anyway, so yeah, if you were in around, and I used to love that whole area, Tottenham Court Road, Leicester Square in London. I loved it. And in back then in the 80s, there were phone boxes that I'm not sure they have them. I don't live in England anymore, so I don't know. But they don't have phone boxes anymore. I wouldn't have thought. Inside the phone boxes were a gazillion little cards from prostitutes advertising. So yeah, and they would all essentially say, "For a good time, call Gloria," whatever. So I always have that phrase, "good time," like connected to a somewhat smutty, inappropriate sexuality, right? So this happened in my head. So then I started going, when would be a good time in the TARDIS? Which TARDIS team would I have a good time with? So I went through the different companions and rated my chances to sleep with them, right? And I think it was a goof. It was a goof, and obviously it was a goof because it's a grown-up channel for grown-ups, right? But children can't work that out. Children can't work that out, and they got all up in arms, especially when I came to Victoria. When I said, "Oh, it's Victoria, she's always scared." I bet I could use that. Now, that would be a terrible thing to do, obviously. It would be terrible to manipulate a young girl. Okay, in my head, she was Deborah Watling at like age 19, 20, whatever. In their head, because they went to the most malicious thing humanly possible. They said, "Oh, she's 14!" And they just went on this like ludicrous tear. Now, in their defense, and I'm going to defend them here, I did stir up the pot. Okay, I did, absolutely. It's here's the thing, because these kids are bullies. These kids, I just realized there's a clump of about 10 of them. And they're horrible bullies, and they attack people. And like they attack grown-ups often, and grown-ups like, "What the hell? Nobody thinks this is not the way human beings interact." And so they upset a lot of people, so much so that they this set the mood. This set the mood for me anyway. On a previous live stream, a couple of these awful people, and I'm not making this up. Go and see it. It's all published. Also on YouTube, it's on Twitter. Go there. These couple of awful people harassed a woman who I know personally, lovely woman, absolutely lovely woman, to the point that she went to hospital. She had to, with no, and it wasn't like a ridiculous, and it was like about good, 8 hours. They went to hospital with nervous tension, and she has genuine heart problem. So yeah, I'm not feeling well disposed of them. So I do like to demonstrate to bullies that they have no power, because bullying, which is what these children do, bullying is, it's all about power. It's always about power. It's about pushing somebody down to make yourself feel good about it. So the way, I think the best way to deal with that is demonstrate they have no power, because the truth is they have no power. None whatsoever. Zero power. And I think the best way to demonstrate somebody has no power is to laugh at them. And it's easy to laugh at them. It's very, very easy to laugh at them, because all you got to do to laugh at them, you don't have to make anything up. You just have to let them speak, right? Let them speak. And that's why, we're going to get into let them speak. So there's this one guy who's really super, super obsessed with me. And again, I think he has a problem with Jews, and I think he has a problem with women. So this guy, my first interaction with him, first time I heard about him, was when he was harassing this woman. Again, another woman. They really don't like women. It's the weirdest thing. They're harassing this other woman. Again, wonderful woman, like really, really smart, intelligent, witty, just a lovely person. She's a mother, lives in lives in Sheffield. Honestly, I didn't know her that well at the time. I know her much better now, and I have so much more respect for her now. Like, she's really great. But he harassed her so much. She said, I don't need this crap, and left Twitter, got off Twitter and then he kept harassing her, and then he tried to apologize, which then turned into more harassment. This is a terrible person. And I'm assuming that his problem with me is that I'm Jewish, right? I'm assuming that, because everything he says is completely unsubstantiated. He calls me a racist constantly, and for no. But so listen, I am of the opinion, I don't, after the election in 2019, I'll say 2015 to 2019 in England, when an anti-Semite, a genuine anti-Semite, a man who clearly meets the definition of an anti-Semite. But the legal definition, and not my personal, the legal and the dictionary definition, which has come up with very, very carefully to allow legitimate criticism of Israel. It's very, 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 it's a very well thought out formula to allow somebody, free speech. I mean, because these things are important to us. So this guy, came to prominence, and so that wasn't the disturbing thing. These things happen. These things do happen. Mistakes are made. Mistakes can be made. But then all his supporters, instead of listening to us Jews, right? Us Jews would say, look, this guy's an anti-Semite. And again, if anybody wants to debate me on this at all, come on my channel. It's not even maybe he is. No, clearly has a history of animosity towards Jews, not towards Israel, towards Jews, which I hoped wasn't the case, because I quite liked him. This is the leader of the Labour Party. I quite liked him when he first arrived. I'm like, well, this guy seems not politician here. That sounds pretty good. I like that. It became very clear very, very quickly that there was a serious problem with anti-Semitism, growing and growing and growing within Labour. Many of my friends, lifelong Labourites, were forced to leave the party. And again, that's not the bad thing. The bad thing was that the non-Jewish people there just didn't support us at all. Didn't have our back at all. Indistinguishable from the rise of fascism in Germany in the 1930s. They blamed us. They said, oh no, every excuse, So a result of that, which I screamed at you about to try and talk you down, but no, result of that is I never, ever, ever will be able to give you the benefit of the doubt that you're not anti-Semitic. That's not what's driving you. And indeed, the thing that drove him over the edge was when he attacked me with these claims of racism. I said, well, how on earth can you pretend you don't like racism? You supported a racist, and because he was attacking, as I believe, another politician who he's crazy. Okay, honestly, I think this kid is probably on the spectrum, autistic in some way. But whatever he is, he should not have an unsupervised Twitter account where he interacts with grown-ups. He should not have that. So at that point, somebody had taken my a screen grab and edited it down of me doing this bit talking about Victoria. Going, and again, if there are many reasons why I would like to sleep with Deborah Watling when she was 18. Many reasons, other than she's insanely beautiful, right? She's just one of the most insanely beautiful people ever. So yeah. On the plus side. On the other side is we're in different time zones, and in my head when I was going through it, I was kind of her age. I wasn't like a fat old guy, Now, a fat young guy, I reckon I have a chance with. So again, that was actually the point of the bit, because I was talking about Polly, right? I said, Polly, I reckon I had a chance with. Again, in my head, I was like kind of her age, but no, okay, but the malicious children can't understand it, because it's a channel for grown-ups, not for children. Children don't understand. So, there's a thing that, especially when you're young, you do not realize that if a woman is extremely beautiful, like Polly, extremely beautiful, they seem unapproachable. They seem like, I don't have a chance. That's the default thought of any sane guy, I don't have a chance there, yeah. That's not true. If you, and this is just life lessons for all of you, if you treat people like people, they tend to respond well. So if you see somebody who's insanely beautiful, just go and talk to them and talk to them. Don't get nervous. Don't think about wanting to sleep with them. Don't think about how gorgeous they are. Just talk to them and find out if you like them, right? And be funny. Be funny is also good. Be funny. Be relaxed. So I'm saying that sort of thing doesn't really prohibit you from hooking up with people, which is something that you might think is the case. So anyway. This guy clearly has a problem with women. He harasses women off Twitter. He has a problem with Jews. Because that's when he freaked out. When I said, well, how would you support? And I asked him, listen, if you want to call that guy, if you want to call your Labour guy, not a racist, that's fine. But I would like you to judge him with a similar yardstick that you judge another very famous politician, the President of the United States, who you all insist is racist, and maybe he is. I don't know. I don't know what there was inside him. Yes, the evidence on the table is so much weaker for that case. The evidence for the leader, the former leader of Labour, is overwhelming. It's overwhelming, and none of it's circumstantial. Whereas this one is it's entirely circumstantial, and you have to ignore a lot of stuff So anyway, this guy he tweeted it to Scott Gray. So Scott, I hope you're watching. Scott Gray, and Scott didn't have the smartest of responses. He characterized me in an absolutely terrible way. And again, Scott, I people make mistakes. I would like it to be that you just made a mistake, right? Here, let me pull it up, and we'll start looking at it. Fine. So he's talking to this guy Jeff, whoever he is, City Jeff. Said, Jeff, this is precisely what sad little turds like this want. Why are you calling me a sad little turd? What's wrong with you? I mean, do you not understand there are two sides to the story? I just explained my side, which I think seems quite reasonable, right? Yeah, I understand idiot children who are spiteful and vindictive and have a vendetta won't understand that, right? And here's the thing. These clump of 10 or however many there are on Twitter, is they don't have normative morality or friendships, right? What they have is alliances. So, which is where I think all this comes from, you know. So if somebody's in a similar alliance to you and anybody doesn't support that thing, what you're aligned with, they're your enemy and you must destroy them. That's because they're freaking crazy. These children are crazy and probably, I mean, almost certainly the result of terrible parenting, right? You know, that's what it seems to me. I mean, look, the kid who's in charge of this one, the Captain Nutsack, whatever his name is, who's like just got out of his mind. So look, to me, I don't know what his motivation is. It just seems to me he's going, Daddy, Daddy, pay attention to me, Daddy, 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 Daddy. That's what it seems to me. So I don't understand why you're characterizing me like this way. But more important than this, Scott, you work for Doctor Who magazine, Panini, and publishing has been hit very, very hard by the pandemic. It's if you look at the mainstream comic book industry, they had. It wasn't just the pandemic, now was it? It had people who I'm sure that you're friends with, just had a complete hatred for people who didn't share their ideology. Just a complete open hatred, and they wouldn't mask it. You know, if you had if you thought that having legal immigration was a good thing over illegal immigration, you'd have those ideas like put in the mouths of the Red Skull. I think and they were very, very clear on social media how much they hated you if you were not like them. In Chesterton would once said, it's a dislike for the unlike. A very, very clever line. Who was that? Right, the Terry Nation? Yeah, Terry Nation. A dislike for the unlike. And they do. Complete dislike for the unlike. So then, sales dwindled as this went on for years and years and years. And, they got down to about, under half the sales that they were getting before they went insane, right? And then the pandemic happened. Then the pandemic happened, and it stopped the habitual flow of new comics, which ended the habit for a lot of people who kind of just put out that. I still read Doctor Who magazine as a habit rather than because it's not been very good of late. I understand. Listen. It's very clear you guys have really tried hard to turn it around during the pandemic and appeal to you were trying to appeal to a very, I would say, rather small area of fandom, and now you're trying to appeal to a wider area of fandom. We do. It is very noticeable that the current Doctor Who is nowhere to be seen in the magazine. Now I get the feeling you're fighting for your lives. Like before. Just by reading the trade papers, I have no inside knowledge, and things that may have looked up. I would like Doctor Who magazine to not fall. Here, let me show you. I'll show you something. Like you see over here, I got like 2 shelves. This is Doctor Who magazine from the beginning, right? I got I would like it to, but basically I still get it habitually, right? And I moved to digital a few years ago, but I still get it habitually. The comic book industry, they broke that, and now there is about 1/3 the amount of comics being made. So the people who said, if you don't like my politics, don't buy my comics, now find themselves not being paid to write comics. And this is really the shift that we're seeing in publishing. It's moving from you as a writer, you had to sell something to an editor. So now you've got to sell something to the audience. You're going direct to audience, which for me, freaking fantastic, okay? I am really, really thrilled about that. I'm starting my Indiegogo sign up in a week, so I'm really, really excited. And so for me, it's absolutely fun. For you, it's looking bad. For you, it's not looking so good because you're choosing sides. Like, honestly, I'm happy for anybody to buy my comics. Anybody at all. I don't care if I agree with them. I don't care if I disagree with them. I just hope you have a good time and you like the product, right? Now, I doubt they will because these are very disingenuous, bad people. Very bad people. So anyway, so you know, I just don't think this is a good idea. I review Doctor Who magazine every month, and again, I kind of want it to succeed. I don't want it to go under. From the numbers I read, your circulation was down to 16,200 and change a month from, let's see, before when Capaldi left, it was about 20,000 a month. And then at the 50th anniversary, it was like when it spiked to like 25. But it seems to be getting low. And I know Doctor Who Adventures was cancelled around the 12,000 mark. So it doesn't look good, right? Like it looks like you're fighting for your life. And again, I genuinely hope the magazine survives. I do. I absolutely do. We've seen each now. It's very kind of clear you can't hire good people to, like expensive writers. Much like the comic book industry, the only people left there now are bottom to mid tier. They can't afford the top tier writers anymore. Yeah, Grant Morrison, all those. They're gone. They're not coming back because they can't afford them anymore. You know, you're stuck with like the lower tier writers. So yeah, it seems to be the similar things happening to Doctor Who magazine. I review it every month. So now I have you calling me names and like, again, joining an anti-Semitic attack against me, right? So I want to give a fair review. And listen, I believe forgiveness is an important thing. I believe being understanding is important. And these are all things I want to be. These are all things I want to do. And so, I hope you give me a way of doing it because right now you haven't. I'm going to try and review the magazine as positively as possible. I wasn't going to review the Time Lord Victoria story till the third part came out. I could do it in one. But again, why build up animosity to any potential customer? Why build up animosity to any potential customer? It seems to me that's a luxury you no longer can afford. But again, listen, whatever you want to do is what you want to do. It's your life. You can do, whatever you like. So he says, Jeff, this is precisely what sad little turds like this want. To get retweeted, to create anger. No, I don't want to create anger. Again, this was a completely disingenuous attack. Born more from anti-Semitism probably than anything. A completely disingenuous attack, which you are now piling in on, right? Which it seems really unprofessional and stupid. Although I would say it's unprofessional, but it's what all the comic book professionals did, So it seems like it should be unprofessional. And it also seems to me that the tide is turning, that you can say whatever you want to anybody you want on social media. We saw Tim Davie, the new Director General of the BBC, getting raked over the coals, and there is a new Twitter policy going in for BBC employers. I can guarantee you after that, if there's not, I would be impressed. Anyway. To create anger, to be noticed. Honestly, I like subscribers. Yeah, I'm a subscriber whore, absolutely. But I didn't. I wanted to make people laugh and the way I want to make people laugh is by things that make me laugh, which is a bit dark. But again, it's a grown-up channel for grown-ups. These children, these malicious children, can't get it. So by the way, after they went crazy on me on Twitter, I then read out a bunch of their crazy, stupid tweets because they're all you have to do to embarrass these people is just let them speak. Just let them. Don't have to manipulate anything. You don't have to go, oh, well, you meant this. No, just let them speak. And so then they started. Twitter went crazy. They went crazy. So on Friday, I replied to a bunch of them. I said, and basically the reply kept having to resort to the same thing when they made ridiculous allegations, right? Ridiculous allegations. I said, that's ridiculous. You're a child and you don't understand. If you'd like to come on my channel and discuss it, we can talk about it. That's the only sane response when somebody says you're doing something patently that you haven't done, right? That's the only sane response. I just repeated it over and over again because what's the point of saying something different if somebody's saying the same thing to you? Yeah, you're a child. And they were children. Again, the way I'm defining children is if they don't have to support themselves in any way, right? They go home and they live in their parents', which is fine. There's nothing wrong with being a child, There's nothing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. But just understand who you are. And I think probably the problem with Twitter and social media in general, it allows children and grown-ups to mix. I don't think children and grown-ups should mix. I don't think grown-ups should be going and trying to interact with these children. That's creepy and it's weird, right? You shouldn't do that. But equally, children shouldn't be trying to interact with grown-ups to make themselves feel big, which is exactly what's going on, right? It's exactly what's going on. And they just make themselves look a bit silly. So listen, for me, I'm inviting on my channel to talk. I can go one or two ways. It could either be we could actually have a real human conversation and we can see that we have more that unites us than divides us. That could happen. That's option A. Or we could have or they could be, hurl baseless insults at me that makes them sound absolutely ridiculous, and then we all laugh and they diminish themselves. So for me, it's a win-win, right? I prefer the first way, but not the second way. Please don't give it to him. Well, they already have. They are so obsessed with me. Just block and mute him and move on. Yeah, listen. The Antisemite kid, the redhead kid. Listen. If you want me to stop pointing out that you're anti-Semitic, that's fine. I'm happy to do that. Just leave me alone. Stop obsessing about me. Stop tweeting about me. Stop calling me the racist rabbi. And if you're going to substantiate any of these things, fine. Now, I can substantiate why I don't think you like women. I can substantiate why I don't think you like Jews. So the way you reacted to me when I asked you where you were with that massive anti-Semite, right? I can substantiate my allegations against you, which is something very important. It's something that grown-ups do. And I think it's something that if you want to interact with grown-ups, you need to start being able to do. So fine, Scott unfortunately went on a little bit. He said, there's a fantastic collection of Doctor Who fans on Twitter. Yeah, excuse me, why are you disparaging me and my friends? I'll tell you why you're disparaging me and my friends. It's because we don't like the current era of Doctor Who. I'm sorry we don't like the current era of Doctor Who. I wanted to like it. I went in trying to like it. I'm sorry it's very bad. I'm sorry there's so much of the mainstream viewing public happen to agree with me. I'm sorry. What do you want out of me? But I don't like it. And I certainly don't like being called I don't like women or this. Because that's, again, can you substantiate that? Because go just look at my Twitter feed. Look at my YouTube. I wanted to like it. I tried to like it. It just is not very good. And again, that's a subjective evaluation, but it's a subjective evaluation that the mainstream audience seems to share, right? And I'm sorry that makes you all feel bad, right? But that's just the way it is. It doesn't give you the right to disingenuously and I would say libelously make allegations. Although, to be honest with you, making disingenuous libelous allegations is the go-to rule of bigots. As I said, I know about anti-Semitism, I know about racism, I know about the Holocaust. The number one form of anti-Semitism that we Jews have received, I'm assuming, Scott, you're not Jewish, that we Jews have received from you non-Jews over the thousands of years. The number one form we have received it from you is you make up lies about us, and then you do not question your lies. You think, of course, Jews use baby blood for their religious practice, and then that makes it kosher to hate us, if you want to. Don't mind mixing the metaphors. This is exactly what these children do on Twitter. They make up disingenuous lies, and then they're empowered by, I'm assuming you're a grown-up. You've been writing this for Doctor Who magazine for 30 years. I'm assuming you're a grown-up, right? I mean, you got it. So then they feel empowered and what's the word I'm going? Bolstered by people like you. Again, maybe you're like them. Maybe you're like, listen, I had a run-in with a colleague of yours, Ben Cook, and I have to tell you, when I do my reviews of Doctor Who magazine, the number one comment I get over and over again is saying, I stopped buying Doctor Who magazine because I'm disgusted with Ben Cook. Oh, look, again, go and look at my reviews, go and look at the comments. It's just over and over again it said, and he has a terrible act on Twitter. So my interaction with him was, by the way, I believe him to be an intelligent and talented person. I bought his book twice. I liked his interview. I think he's a a person of genuine ability, which I don't think many people are. I think he's on a genuine, ability, and yes, he spends his day on Twitter looking to tell people why they're wrong, which is kind of a sad way to spend your life. But anyway, my interaction with him was he was ranting about trans people and saying, why would any woman be upset with a trans woman being in a gym with them? So I know the answer. I got, I'm married, I have a few daughters, and the answer is universal. That some women are uncomfortable, are very uncomfortable being in a state of undress or immodesty with other women who have penises, or with people with penises, even women with penises. They are very, very uncomfortable, and they feel that's an invasion of their personal space. He lost his shit. He lost it completely. It was like, "Rah!" So it escalated. I'm like, Ben, why do you want to fight? This is just the answer to your question. Right, escalate. Eventually he got a clip of me on video, like, again, having a laugh. And the funny thing was, the clip he chose, I was having a laugh at people like him, right? Exactly, I'm having a laugh. He said, oh, look at you, rant and raving, and you're nearly 50. And I was like, so then I said, look, Ben, mate, I just looked at you. You're pushing 40. You're single. You don't have any children. You don't have any significant relations in life. You've achieved so much less than most people with so much more opportunity, because you have an incredible opportunity, right? And after that, he got us. He's also very into the Labour anti-Semitism, which again, I wish you guys just weren't so into that. But what can I tell you? I don't know what your political history has got. I'm guessing it's probably the same. I don't know, because I think, these kind of people, they deal with alliances rather than friendships and morality. Fine, so there's a fantastic collection of Doctor Who fans on Twitter. Why are you disparaging us? All sharing artwork, jokes, cosplay, which is exactly what we were doing, and so many other forms of creativity. Retweet them. What again? Why are you tarnishing us? You're paying customers. Who you mainly, have alienated. Why are you tarnishing us by saying we're deplorable? Why? Why do you think it's a good idea? And again, how far is Doctor Who magazine from cancellation? Again, 16,000 a month and change in December. Then you had the pandemic hit, and and the people stopped habitually buying. I can't imagine you doing that well. I don't think you. But listen, it didn't stop the comic book writers, right? They would rather be unemployed and be able to scream on Twitter than than be employed and be nice to people, right? Let's celebrate our love for Doctor Who. That's what we do, and ignore the people who have nothing to offer but spite. Okay, it's not us. We're not the one. Okay, I will harshly criticize and make fun of the current production era. Production team. I will harshly criticize that. But okay, if you don't like it, go to somebody. Everybody should have an opinion. But the problem is also, if you weren't insanely pro for this era, you were vilified, as a sexist, and it's just this insane way of looking at the world with alliances. So let's have a look. He's got one more here. Somebody sent me. There will always be people out there causing offense. Yes, that's mainly the guy who has that troll account. That's what he lives for. He lives for attention and he lives for offense. They don't deserve attention. I agree. So don't give it to them. Okay. So listen, Scott. As I said, I don't know if you're watching this. Doesn't really bother me if you are. I mean, whatever you want to do is whatever you want to do. It's your life. It's your life, mate. Listen, if you want to extricate yourself from this without taking sides, which is probably would have what you should have done to start with, I would delete your tweets. That I'm not demanding. I'm just whatever you want to do is what you want to do. And I would put out tweets saying, listen, there is clearly two sides to this argument. Which I think I presented. There are two sides. I don't want to get involved. I don't know who's right and who's wrong. I have no opinion. I hope you all enjoy Doctor Who. Something like that. And I think that will probably be a good idea. But, now it means you have to back down, which is just silly. Why? I would much rather, not be friends, but why can we not all be kind of peaceable together, even if we have different opinions on Doctor Who. So there you go. That's my message to Scott Gray, and I think many other people out there as well. My name is Phil Becken, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.